Who's your emergency contact? Who is she notified in the case of death? Welcome to the USP, where I spent the last 2+ decades of my life. I'm taking you through the course of my time. The stories I share with you are things that I've seen, things that I've been a part of. I don't know every single detail, or everybody's names, or everybody's cases. I'm just giving you the story from my perspective as I saw it. Through the course of my time, I had a lot of interactions with the dudes from DC, the DC blacks. Depending on who you ask, you're gonna get a different opinion, a different perspective of who these individuals are. But the one thing that all of us in the penitentiary can agree on is that these men out of DC, the DC blacks, they go hard. DCs are broken into areas. Somebody told me southeast, east and west. I don't know how they break up their neighborhood out that way. But it don't really matter which area these individuals come from. For the most part, the consensus amongst the inmates in the penitentiaries is the DCs, they go hard. When we was in Lompoc, they only had 5 or 6 DCs on the compound. I was in the SHU at this time, so I wasn't there to see it, but they had an issue with the Bloods. And there's a lot of Bloods. There's more than 5 Bloods, I promise you that. They were probably outnumbered 5-1. But the DC was out there, ready, toe-to-toe, while the Bloods come rushing in. One of the person that was there, I run into him. I'm not sure if his name is Tone. This is not DC Tone, Antonio White. This is another, there's a lot of people with the same name, but this guy, he's dark-skinned, kind of tall, and cut up. But he's slim, but he's cut up. We was in Lompoc together, but I never really got to know them or got to be friends with him. But I saw him again in Yard-Atwater at this time. So on this particular story, it's morning. They call him rec call, it's 7:30. I come out every morning with my poker bag. We have to go through gate 2, the yard 2, to get into yard 3. Like I said, the yards are 3 squares. The compound is shaped in a rectangle, and the yard is in the middle. The prison goes around the yard. And they have a fence around the yard divided up to 3 squares. You come in through yard 2, then there's a gate between yard 1 and 2, and a gate between 2 and 3. I come through yard 2, go through the gate to yard 3, and go set up my poker table. Well, on this particular day, when we're walking out to the yard, and I'm about to walk through yard 2, the gate between 2 and 3, I see 2 DC dudes next to me. They're exchanging words. The little bit of conversation I picked up was like, nah, don't worry about it. We go handle it right now. Yeah, it's what it is, Slim. And I'm like, oh, these dudes about to beef. Now, let's go to Antonio White. I can say that we're friends. We got to know each other through the course of my time, and we was cool. And there's not too many people that I've met that garnish more respect and love than I've seen afforded to him. When we ran into each other again in Florence, we were locked down. They put him in my block. But while we're locked down, we get to come out 30 minutes, an hour, or whatever, depending on how they were doing the progression of the COVID-19 lockdown. But every time somebody came out for their hour, I seen them bring a laundry bag full of commissary and drop it by this door. I'm watching, like, damn, who's that new dude? All these, motherfuckers just dumping commissary in front of his door on a daily basis every time they come up for the hour. Well, finally, when we come out, and I discover it was DC Tone. He has a reputation. I think he used to box on the street, so he's real good with his hands. But not like that. But not just that. He's a person that carries himself with integrity. And, like through the course of my time when we was in Atwater together, I told you I got hit in my ticket and I was running out of, stamps. I went to him and asked him, hey, let me get 200 books. He didn't ask me for what, when he's gonna get paid back. He said, I'll have it out for you at lunch. And at lunchtime, one of his homeboys came out and dropped me off 4 envelopes with 50 books in each of them. A couple weeks later, I paid him back with a little extra, but he never asked for anything extra. But from my perspective, is that I want to return the favor and the respect. He helped me out when I was down. So when I came up, I made sure I put a little something on top of it to show my appreciation. But one of his reputation was everywhere he goes, no matter whose yard it is, no matter what DC is on that compound, he always goes and takes the yard. Now, how they go about it, I'm not privy to all that. Sometimes maybe it's just a conversation and somebody concedes the leadership, or sometimes they want to fight over it, or sometimes they want to kill over it. But these things happen amongst the DC cars all the time. There's a few individuals that's in the penitentiary system that wherever they go, they demand a yard. Now this other guy just came. He's light-skinned, a little shorter, but his chest is out to here. I don't know his name, but I know his little brother, Ricardo, from DC. Ricardo lived in 3B with some of my homies, and I've got to, and over the course of my time in Atwater, I got to know him pretty good. Well, the guy that came on the compound is his older brother. So I guess what had happened, there was this other dude, the slim, tall, black dude already, that was on the yard already first, that in essence has claimed the yard, claimed the big homie role for the DC. But when Ricardo's older brother came, he didn't want to play second fiddle to nobody. So that morning, when I was trying to walk through the gate to Yard 3 to put up my poker stuff, I seen them walking side by side. And nah, we go handle this in the corner. On Yard 3 is a soccer field. But on the edge, around the edge of the soccer field, is a track. People walk around it, people jog around it. When you come into the yard, the gate is in the middle. When you come to your yard, immediately to your left is a basketball court. On your right, by the corner, is 3 tables where I put up my poker table. On the left, in the left corner, is another 3 tables. Behind the basketball court is a volleyball court. After the volleyball court, it's a soccer field, which is just dirt and rocks. Rocks the size of your fist, the size of your head. When you fall on that field, you're getting scraped up. And then a track goes around it. Well, these dudes, nobody stole on each other when they were walking, because, we see the tension. When I walked through that gate, they were right next to me. So I overheard the conversation. So, of course, out of curiosity, I'm keeping my eye on it. Me, Bryson, and a couple other homies, we're just watching. They hit the track. They go around the track all the way to the corner. The whole time walking side by side, maybe having a conversation, exchanging words. They're too far for me to hear it now. But they're all the way in the back corner. Then you see them square up and they start duking it out. There was no other DCs out there. There was no other blacks out there. It was the first move early in the morning, 7:30. It was just them two. At the moment in time, I didn't know what they were fighting over or what the issue was. But come to find out, they're over there in the corner duking it out for the rights to run the DC car in Atwater. And they were going. You know, the slim dude, he's slim, but he's yoked up. He works all the time. He's ripped up. And Ricardo's brother, you know, he's big. He's a little shorter, but he didn't have no neck. You know, his chest is out to here, his arms like this, and they're duking it out. They were fighting for about a minute before the gun tower noticed and popped the window open and yelled through the intercom, lay down, stop, lay down or we'll shoot. And they shot. Boom! They shot at them two. Boom! They shot again. They shot 3 rounds. While they're shooting, the dudes has already been hit, notifying the CEO there's an emergency situation at this area. You can see them on both sides of the gates running towards the scene. You know, they're running over there. They popped their gate on yard 3. They're on the track. They're running over there while the gun shower is shooting. They popped off 3 shots. And then the CEOs finally got there and subdued him and restrained him, cuffed him up, whatever, took him to the shoe. Now, they tried to close the yard down. They kicked us out of yard 3 after the incident because they had these officers going around looking for the bullet, for the lead that hit the ground or whatever, as if we can find the lead and reuse it to do something, you know. But they're over there scavenging for the 3 shots that was fired from the gun tower. And like I said, you know, when they took them from the back gate and walked them through the corridor, so we didn't get to see who got shot, who got hurt, or whatnot. After they tried to find the bullets and couldn't, they gave up. Operation resumed. Well, a couple months later, they let the tall, slim dude out of the shoe. And he was waiting to play basketball or watching to play basketball, but I happened to be there and we struck up a conversation. And he's like, yeah, man, me and Slim, you know, he was just telling me that these are 2 bulls. These are 2 dudes that feel like they should be the one dictating the politics in Atwater for the DCs. And the agreement was, let's go over there and fight it out. And so, you know, from where I saw, I couldn't tell you who won the fight because they were just going at it, blow for blow. But the administration couldn't let both of them back out. And for whatever reason, they decided to let the tall, slim black dude out. But he was telling me when he was in a scuffle with dude broke 2 of his ribs. And he got shot. He got shot in the arm. When they were fighting, when their gun tower was shooting, they shot him in the arm and he got 2 busted ribs. You know, and through our course of the conversation, he never spoke or said any bad word, anything bad on the other dude's integrity or who he was or anything. It was just, they were on man time. They were 2 bulls that couldn't coexist, that couldn't concede the position to the other. So they did what they thought was necessary and they fought for the rights to run the yard. You know, no matter, I repeat, no matter how people feel about individuals that come out of DC, the one thing is that these men out of that way, they're respected and they're feared. And all the DC homies that I ever ran into, when they respect you, they're going to give the shirt off their back for you. They're going to ride with you. They don't care about what car you from. They don't care about what gang you from. And they don't care what skin color you are. If they fuck with you, they're going to be there to help you. I've had offers from many different individuals when they saw me about to get into a situation. You know, they pull up. Hey, what's up, Slim? You good? I said, yeah, I'm good, homie. I'll let you know, Slim, we got you. So, you know, even when I tell stories that are not so flattering on these individuals, please understand that every individual I tell stories about is from a place of respect. But like I said, if you're a buster, I'm going to call you out. If you're lame, I'm going to call you out. If you're a rat, I'm going to expose you. Welcome to the USP.